Experience the Golf Podcast Live.
And we're on in 3,
Raf and Mike.
2, 1. All right. Welcome to the Golf Podcast Live, brought to you by ECS, Evolve Creative Solutions. I'm your host, Rafael Kalamat, and alongside Michael Bleackley, who's in Vancouver. Guys, we've got another really special guest with us today. His name is Rob Labritz. You may know him from the Champions Tour. He's had a wild season. He's going to talk to us about his experience as a rookie on the Champions Tour. He's also the director of golf at Glen Arbor. Rob, welcome to the show.
Gentlemen, nice to be with you again.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, Rob. Looking forward to hearing about your experiences this year. You're kind of living a dream.
I pinch myself every morning when I wake up just to make sure that it's still real. And it hurts every morning. I got bruises all over my leg.
Well, Rob, it's pretty great. You just finished the Regions Tradition, a T50 -2. Great performance. At one point, you were 4 under. And, you're a birdie machine. We've been following you. You played the Chubb Classic, the Cologuard, Ho Classic, Rapiscan Systems. Then it was the Club Corp Championship. Going into the Insperity Invitational and the KitchenAid. So coming up very, very soon for another major championship. Pretty wild that there's 5 major championships on the Champions Tour. Tell us about this week's experience because it's fresh on your mind. Maybe just give us a rundown how it feels like coming into this event. Just before we went on the cast, you told us, how it's hard to get used to these new courses. So tell us about coming into a tournament, how you get prepared, and how this week went.
Yeah, this week went great. The course was playing hard and fast. The greens were rolling beautifully. Wasn't a ton of wind, a little bit, maybe just a little bit, but not like we've been playing in. Was prepared. Another Steve Stricker, great performance. I think 18 under. They're being said, you just can't make mistakes out here. The guys are just great players. They're the best players in the world over 50. So it's, you got to golf your ball and not make mistakes, make a lot of birdies and, go low to win. That's what I'm learning. To balance it all out. Yeah. I've got to learn all these golf courses. That's a little disadvantage that I'm at, but it's okay. I've got to work my way through it and, just get used to the greens. I've been doing a lot of work on the greens. Just when I get there on Mondays, just chart them all and find all the nuances and pins and try to figure it out. So, and then of course not make mistakes once you get into the heat of the battle. So, it's been so much fun, guys. I pinch myself every morning. The guys out there are great. Golf courses are awesome. The volunteers, the tour runs a great PGA Tour champion. It's phenomenal.
Just very quickly with the Regions Tradition. Looking at that final round, it was pretty incredible because your stats were kind of way better than I was following with the other tournaments. You had 78% greens in regulation. Your driving distance on average was 307. So you're right up there with the guys, 14th, 15th, 16th on the Champions Tour as far as distance. But your accuracy was 84% with the driver, which is really awesome to see. And you're a birdie machine. It's just you're kind of balancing out those bogeys and double bogeys that kind of pop up on that back 9 sometimes. I see sometimes on the 17th or 18th just to finish off that round. It seems that it's happening time and time again in one of the rounds, at least in one of the rounds where you post a double. And I as I'm looking at the scorecard or live scoring, I'm like, oh, Rob, man, it's just like that last hole. And I know how it feels, and it's easier said than done. We play tournament golf, and I've never played at that level. But I've played quite a bit, and it just I know how you feel, and it makes a difference, right?
Yeah, the mistakes. I'm coming into this, obviously learning a bunch. I'm a learner, so I'm learning a bunch, and what these guys do day in and day out, and what they've done for the past 31 years, whereas I've been club pro. They have honed in this skill to even probably when they're not playing great, get that ball in the hole and limit mistakes. I've got to be on a sharp learning curve now. My distance says, I've got distance. I can reach par fives. I've been going for some par fives. I've been making some mistakes on some par fives, but going for them, trying to, I might miss it in the wrong spot on certain, par fives if I'm going for it in two. So it's just learning all those little things, and just limiting those mistakes, those little stinky mistakes that get in there,
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at your year-to-date scoring. You're 41st on the money list, which isn't bad. You're beating a lot of players there. You're 14th in driving distance. Your green and regs are 23rd. Putts per round and scrambling. It is 70 and 72nd, and obviously you're working on improving that. But overall, these stats are pretty good for a rookie year. And there's a lot more golf to play. So what is it that you work on from week to week? And, did you have the time to work on it? I mean, you're traveling and this is all, climatization for you. So give us an insight on how you transfer from week to week and try to get better.
Yeah. So yes, I have the time. That's the thing now. So I look at those stats that you just read out to me, Michael, and that's where I need to improve. Now, the stats don't tell everything. I need to improve my chipping and my pitching, and I constantly work on that. But that being said, when I'm chipping and pitching, I'm chipping and pitching from short side a lot of times.
Yeah.
So I might be going at some flags, and trying to take some chances and putting myself in positions where instead of I could go for the center of the green and play a little more safe, I'm kind of firing at those flags. So it's risk reward, and so that shows me that when I do short side myself, I need to work on those shots, which I've been pouring more and more time into. How do I balance everything else? I still find time to work out. I have my bands, my all my equipment kind of travels with me. I stay at Marriott's. They have a nice little gym, so I can kind of do my thing. I don't do a ton of hardcore weights when I'm playing a lot because I want to conserve the energy. But on my weeks off, I tend to hit it harder. And then distance is good. I don't feel like I'm swinging hard. I don't feel like I'm swinging to be 14th or to hit at 300. I feel like I'm within myself. And then if I make a few more putts, eliminate maybe 1 or 2, 3 putts, and then make a few more birdies inside 12 feet. I've had some 12 to 21 footers that have been just burning the edges consistently. So, you make 2 or 3 of those around, and all of a sudden, do that in 3 rounds. That's 6 shots. Yeah. So, there's ways of just kind of, tying it all in together.
Yeah. And that translated into more money. If you made 2, 3 more putts or 1 less mistake. And like you said, getting used to these golf courses, for the first time experience on them. And, you are behind the field, so to speak. And these guys have been going out for years. So, there's a lot now. What are you doing for caddies? Do you have a regular caddy, or are you switching in each events, or who's on the bag and who's helping guide you through this?
Yeah, I have I had Todd, who was my original caddy. He was on the bag for the first 3 events. We decided to go, I decided to go a different direction, and went with a guy by the name of Van Silver. For 3 events, and Van needed some time away. So I'm going to start up the Senior PGA Championship with a new caddy, Mark Schoenwald, who's brought some nice energy. So we're going to see how the next 3 or 4 events go with Mark, and see what we can do. He brings a wealth of knowledge to all the golf courses, and our personalities are pretty similar. So looking forward to getting that going.
Very cool.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Like Mike mentioned, 41st on the Charles Schwab Cup, not bad at all. The top 72 get to play in the finals, but you're working your way up. I was impressed with the Rapiscan Systems Classic, where you finished, it was T5, and that could have gone even better. That was a great tournament to watch you, and we're cheering you on. Got some coverage. Got to see you on the TV coverage, so that was pretty awesome. And then Hogue and Chubb Classic with top 20 finishes, 21st and 26th, I believe, which was a really nice finish. So a lot of different pairings. and a lot of different times. Any memorable pairings or players that you got the chance to play with?
Every one of them. Every player that I play with, I learn something from. I don't care. I mean, you get the notable ones, the guys who've won majors and things like that. I mean, obviously that's probably who people are interested in, but everybody that's out there on that tour brings something to the table. It's impressive, from the West Shorts to the Mike Weirs, to the Jim Furyk's, to the Bernard Langers, to the, Stephen Alkers, to the Fred Couples, it's amazing. It's amazing. Each person brings a different set of skills and a different way of getting the ball in the hole. And what's great about it is, I am playing against them, but I'm still playing against the golf course, because I know that when I go out there and I play my best is as good, if not better than these guys. It's just, just keep riding the train, and you ride the train, and you just keep eating your food and keep working out, and, things will start to happen. It's just the way it's going to be. So
that's great.
I'm very patient.
Really, yeah. That patience and just waiting for your turn to come around, because it takes 1 or 2 good rounds, and mostly you're playing 3 rounds. The majors have 4 rounds, and so but you're getting into a routine, and I think once you settle in a little bit, I think you're starting to feel it. A lot of people are talking about how it's so hard to settle in and travel and get used to the golf courses. That's the biggest thing, because then you're kind of traveling back home and then trying to make it back out at an event, and you really don't know what to expect sometimes. And then there's the weather changes. That's kind of different. But tell me about the atmosphere on the Champions Tour. Everyone who's an analyst or a journalist talks about how different it is on the Champions Tour, how it's more of a family feel. Guys are helping each other out. There's a little bit more of a social aspect. The guys are hanging out more. Did you find that the environment's really positive and reinforcing between players?
100%. It's a great atmosphere. Everybody is just, happy to be out there and competing, at that level. And they set up such great events for us. It's pretty cool to watch. So, and be part of, they just do such a great job in every event. And the guys just, truly just like being out there. And obviously everybody wants to play well, but there's no cut. So there's not a lot of stress. But you're out there, trying to win, 100% trying to win. And you're working your tail off to get it done, and the guys are working on their games, and it's impressive. And then obviously as you get older, we'd work on our games harder, but things as you get older start to hurt a little bit. So you try to make sure that you can practice within the hurts and there's guys who are older just don't want to practice. It's your bodies tell you kind of what's happening. If your body starts to hurt, it becomes an issue. You got to get things figured out, or that's why guys don't practice so much anymore. When you're 22, you don't ever hurt, But as you get older, you start to hurt a little bit. Now I've been, knock on wood, pretty lucky. I don't hurt yet. But then again, I'm a rookie. So, and I say yet, because I know it's inevitable, but, so I can practice, as much as I want, and without the repercussions of like going into spasms.
And how about the traveling side of things? Are you driving from stop to stop? Are you flying? How are you dealing with all of that?
Yeah, a lot of travel, a lot of flying. I fly mostly. I stay at Marriott's. I try to stay close to the golf course. Jerry Kelly's been nice with helping me with kind of where to stay. He's been out here for so long, and kind of leads me in a certain direction, which is, he knows kind of what I'm looking for. And, and it's just, then just, I don't really spend much time in the hotel, to be honest. I spend most of the time at the golf course and working out, and then get back here, you sleep, and you do it all over again. But on the other side of it, I miss my family. I miss my wife and my 2 girls. My son's at LSU, so I don't miss him so much, because I know he's grinding away out there, but I do miss him. But the 2 little girls, the 8-year-old and 17-month-old, that's the hard part, and my wife. Definitely. My girls are awesome to me. So.
Well, that's understandable.
Definitely. Have you had a chance to have them show up at any events yet and watch you play, or is that in the mix yet?
Yeah, they came out in the first one for the Chubb, and then my 8-year-old's in third grade, so it's hard for my wife to come out and bring the third grader. But when she gets out of school, they're going to come travel with me for a few weeks. They're coming to see the PGA, so that'll be good. And after the U.S. Senior Open qualifier in 2 days, I'll be able to see them for a couple of days before I go out on the road again. So
That's
very
really
cool.
Great. I love the fact that
Yeah.
you mentioned no cuts. No cuts
it's so
feels
nice.
so great. It's a guaranteed paycheck, even if you finish last. I know it's not huge money compared to the amount of time and effort you need to spend, getting out there and getting out to an event. And there are expenses
paying your
during the
caddy.
week, right?
Yeah. You gotta pay for things. You're darn right.
But give me your opinion on Bernhard Langer. He's turning 65 this year. Is he a human being? Is he possibly an alien? Because you're talking about you're not having pain. I'm 48 and I've got tendonitis. I'm working my way through it. First time since 1999. That's when I started coaching that I can't swing a club all the way through. How does he do it? Have you got a chance to speak to him?
Yes, I have. He is a golfing god and a gentleman. He is just a very driven, very talented, very nice human being. And he is just awesome. I mean, it's just awesome to see anybody that wins, and can keep doing that no matter how old they get. He hits the ball great. He knows where it's going. It's just simple. And he's strong. He's got to be strong, super strong mentally for all tournaments that he's won. So he's just an amazing golfing machine. And he's just an incredible man. What a nice man. So yeah,
Great.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
You had mentioned your sponsors, Marriott. I think you've paired up with V1 as well. Tell us a little bit about your sponsors and who's helping you out on this journey, because you can't do this alone. It takes a village. To make this happen.
So Marriott is not one of my sponsors. I just stay there, but I'll definitely mention the other ones. It's okay. No, I've got plenty to mention on the other side of it. Besides my, we'll say who takes care of me. My wife does all my travel. She's the bomb daily, but Glen Arbor Golf Club is a huge sponsor. Centerview Partners, iCapital, Orion Energy Infrastructure, V1, Tooch USA. Let me see. God, I hope I don't forget. Am I forgetting somebody?
Clubs and clothing.
Galvin Green Clothing, Titleist golf clubs, FootJoy golf shoes. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Oh, and Athlete. Oh, yes. No, that's not it. Are you kidding me? Athlete, drink, and then Golden Child Holdings, Crystal. They own a bunch of crystals. They own Stony River Steakhouses. They own J. Alexander's. So I've got a great group of people helping me out, and
that's great. It's so worth mentioning because, like I said, you can't do this journey on your own, and just having that support system certainly puts things at ease. You don't need to be thinking about certain stuff sometimes, right?
So if I don't continue on this journey the way I think I'm going to, then I've done something wrong, or I'm just not good enough. But I don't believe that. So all the ducks are in a line to try to make this happen. So we can just focus on golf, and that makes it much more just linear focused, right?
Yeah.
One thing. So that's all.
And how about Glen Arbor? How are you? They've obviously cleared the path for you to go out and compete. But are you any duties that you have to take care of while you're on the road, or any responsibilities to the club, or are they just got things handled and want you to bring back a trophy?
Well, I've got my duties are to win out in the Champions Tour.
Nice.
And win senior majors. Yeah. So, but when I'm on my off weeks, I'm back at the club. It's been, lately it's been really hard because I've been gone for 4 weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's going to be 4.5 weeks in a row. And I'll get home for a quick couple of days. There's going to be a CBS story that we're going to be doing. It's going to air on CBS Sunday morning on Father's Day. So that I got to shoot that on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to go to the club and spend some time with my girls. My son's coming in, my family.
Amazing.
So and then I got to run Monday morning and go out to Harbor Shores and play in the senior PGA. So the love tank needs to get filled up a little bit.
Yeah.
On the side of my family, I really miss them. But on the other hand, adrenaline and just pure excitement keeps me going.
Yeah.
I don't, it's amazing. I mean, look, I'll pitch myself again.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's pretty wild because you probably came out there not knowing what to expect as far as what your scoring average is going to be. It's just under 72 at 71.48. You didn't know how things would start working out for you as far as how much money you're going to be making, because that's how the old ranking system used to work and still does for the Champions Tour, which I love. I love the fact that they use the money to set everyone up with their Charles Schwab points. And you're doing great. I think you're doing great. I mean, ball striking, everything is wonderful. I guess putting is probably something hard to get used to with the different greens, the different layouts. Your putting average right now is 1.8. You're 53rd on tour. So, as a coach and instructor, easier said than done. But, putting, it's hard to get to roll the rock. And as much as when I was playing even like mini tour events and qualifying, my coaches and people I looked up to and my mentors always said, they would ask me, how much time are you spending on putting? And I would say, how much time? And they'd say, double it. Just double anything that you're doing. And you got to start rolling the greens, because all the greens are going to be cut and rolling differently on every tournament you go to. Does that hold true to what's happening on the Champions Tour with putting?
Yeah, I mean, you have to adjust to the different grasses, the different speeds, and then of course you're adjusting to the hole locations that you're trying to figure out too. So, but putting, for me, it's learning the areas, the surface areas at each golf course, and then, when I practice putting, it's not really about hitting thousands and thousands of putts. I mean, it's really about just making that practice focused, and each putt should be for something. It should be for a major win, or it should be for, because I'm 50. I'm past the point of, I check my stroke. I make sure my setup's all good, all that stuff. But I'm past the point of just, banging putts left and right. I want to make sure that I'm starting to, putt for things. So when I get into that situation, which I will, I'll already played it out in my brain a million times, and it'll be that much easier. So, I mean, that's kind of what I do when I go out there and practice. As far as putting, I mean, just look how many birdies I make. I make a lot of birdies.
You make a lot of birdies.
And when the 12 to 21 footers start to fall a little bit more, I'm going to make even more birdies. Yeah. So it'll all average out. I understand what you see in the stats when it comes to the putting.
Yeah.
And yes, I could definitely make more. But for me, just personally, learning the greens and different grains and different grasses, East Coast, West Coast, I mean, and never played them before. Yeah. I mean, I'm going through, adjustment period 101, my first year trying to figure it all out. And the last 3 weeks, kind of shot me down. I didn't have great 3 weeks comfortability wise on each one of the golf courses. I felt really comfortable at Rapiscan, and I felt pretty comfortable at the first couple events. So we'll see going into Harbor Shores how that's going to play out, comfortability wise on the golf course, kind of the way it suits my eye and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been fun figuring it out though, man.
Yeah, I bet. And now the schedule upcoming, are there any courses that you are familiar with or that you're looking forward to getting onto?
Nope. I played Saucon Valley. Yeah, I played Saucon Valley in Senior Open, and I'm not even in that tournament yet. So
okay.
I got to qualify in 2 days. So it's all like this. This is what I'm doing, right? Yeah.
Definitely, and that makes it hard to get used to. Learning different putting surfaces every week, and putting's one of those things that you can work your tail off on it, and sometimes it comes down to luck, especially like you said, the 12 to 20 footers. a lot can happen to a ball, based on speed and whatnot. So, I've got one of Dave Pell's book behind me, the Putting Bible. And one of the things I remember from that book is a well-struck putt's not guaranteed to go in. So, and sometimes we just make them. You have those weeks where you're putting into an ice cream bucket, and then other weeks it's a thimble. So really it's, you've just got to keep at it. Right. And then it's going to happen, I think I called you to win the last time you were on the show, and I'm holding to that. You're going to come through, and you're going to, add to the story that you've already are writing. Right. So the fact that you were medalist last year in the qualifying tournament and truly living the dream, any golfer in our age bracket is, we're all pulling for you. So now, has there been any funny, embarrassing moments? Because, we like to talk about that stuff here. Has there been anything that stands out that, show up to the tournament without your shoes? Or
there might be a John Daly story. Who knows?
We haven't seen you not signing a card yet, so that's good.
Yeah, no, haven't. I guess the only thing is the other day I gave my caddy the day off, and I went over there to practice. And when I got done, I left my clubs just sitting there because he always puts them in the car for me and puts them in his bag storage. And I just put them on the cart. I went into the locker room, changed my shoes, whatever, grabbed some food. And on the way out, just totally forgot that they were in the cart. And so I got a message from the head pro. He was really cool. And he said, "Hey, did you mean to leave your clubs out here?" I was like, "Oh my goodness." He goes, "Well, I stuck them in bag storage." So I was like, I guess that was probably the worst, kind of, forgetting where your clubs are, or, forgetting that they were on the cart. But other than that, no, it's been pretty good so far. No mouth and foot or, bad things happening. knock on wood. Right.
Well, we've talked to a lot of journalists and analysts, and they've only got good things to say about you. They know who you are now, and they're kind of saying, "Hey, yeah, he's playing pretty well." Like, we've even talked to some Canadian senior players who used to be on tour, like Ian Leggett. So the people are familiarizing themselves with Rob Labritz, which is very nice. So outside of your team of the caddy being with you, do you have a coach or a trainer or somebody you work with on a regular basis? And what are some of the players that your go-to players? Like, when you go to a tournament, a lot of players have their guys they want to warm up with or take a look at the golf course with. So who's part of your team? And do you have any go-to players that you play with?
So, I've had a team for a long time. Tom Wilson, one of my original swing instructors, Bill Davis, my instructor since I was 17 years old. Wow. And then Carl Alexander's, helped me. We've known each other since the year 2000, and he's helped me a lot in the last couple of years with my, just some ball flight, some playing things, and wedge stuff, and then my trainer, Curtis Action Jackson. Yeah, I mean he keeps me moving around, jumping around, limber, making me do familiar, unfamiliar, all sorts of stuff, and keep my body in shape. So yeah, those are the guys that I rely on, and I do a lot of stuff. I do something daily, but I talk to them all the time. They're the ones I probably Zoom with Curtis a couple times a week when I'm on the road, just to keep it going. And yeah.
And when you get out to the golf course, is there anybody that you call or text that you try to get a game going with? You're more comfortable warming up or playing with?
So yeah, it's not we do a lot of practice rounds out here. I mean, Monday you travel in either Sunday night or Monday morning, and you go to the golf course, and you just kind of get your work done on the greens. You're not really. I mean, some guys will, people are kind of just like, some guys go home. They don't, like, I need to learn the golf course, but the other tour guys, who've been out there a while, maybe go home for a day and see their family. They don't arrive until they have to play in the Pro-Am. And then we have a lot of Pro-Ams. So I'll generally play in a Tuesday Pro-Am, or I either have to do both a Wednesday and a Thursday. So, I'm playing a lot of, Pro-Ams, which my energy doesn't then go into learning the golf course, although I'll hit a few extra shots. It goes into, entertaining the amateur partners. Which I love, because that's part of my club pro. I love helping people with their games, and and it's cool being out there.
It gives you a chance to network as well, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I get to play golf with other people who like golf, and you get to learn about people. It's just we're all tied together by the game. You meet so many interesting people from all walks of life because of the game. And then you try to prepare yourself for Friday.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the day goes by fast when you're playing the pro-ams. If you have a morning time, you practice when you're done. And then, if you have an afternoon time, you practice in the morning, you go out and play, and then you kind of rinse, wash, repeat. You eat dinner, you go to sleep, you do your workout, and you go to bed, and you do it all over again. I mean, it's not super glamorous, and the time that you get is pretty constricted with pro-ams.
Are those,
and you're not.
Are those 9 holes or 18s? Are there 9s, I think, right
18.
now? Oh, they're 18s?
18 holes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
So just the boys, the younger guys on the PGA Tour, they've taken it down to 9 holes, right? So you've got to meet that commitment of doing 18. Wow. But it's it's like you said, it's a good workout for you to see the golf course, the layout, to see how the green complexes look like, and see where the hazards are, and kind of the lay of the land.
Sure. And sometimes you get paired with some good players and some not so good players, but you can see how the balls react when they're hitting them, at least. So you can kind of get an idea, which is nice, which is, another way of looking at a pro-am, but I like them. So, yeah,
good. So no pressure view of the golf course for you, right? So that makes sense. And are they mandatory, or do you have to do them all, or is it out there? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's the lifeblood of the tour. Yep.
Yeah,
that's great. Everybody wants to play with Bernard Langer and Jim Furyk. And then they get me, and then they're like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I saw you. You're the crying guy."
Well, that's great. Yeah, but it must be pretty cool when you're walking around the range and the putting surface, and like you said, you got to pinch yourself when you see Stricker, Harrington, Els, Allenby, Jimenez. The list just goes on and on with Clark and let me see here. I'm missing so many now with
Montgomery.
Duvall coming back out there, and Justin Leonard coming back. Even I was reading an article in Golf magazine about Allenby, how he's making a comeback as well, and he wants to come out there, and Goosen, Jansen, DeMarco, it's all the guys Mike and I grew up with watching as well, right? And so it's fantastic to see. Coming up with the KitchenAid, your thoughts about, is there anything different that you're going to do? Have you learned that maybe you should prepare yourself a little differently for certain events?
That's a good question. For me, it's going to be, I'm going to have a couple days off. I've been playing, it'll be 4.5 weeks in a row. And the funny part is I still feel like I can go. But I don't know if it's just the excitement of it all and everything, but I don't think a lot of other tour players, and I haven't heard in my coaching years that, as you play 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row, you're going to get better. I haven't heard that trend say, okay, you're going to get really good if you play 8 weeks in a row. I hear just the opposite. So I'm looking forward to a couple days off, towards the end of the week. And when I say a couple days off, just from the 6 or 7 hour practice days, or maybe even 8 hour practice days, I might even practice an hour or something just to kind of take a breather, or maybe take a day off. I don't even know. My inners tell me that I need to keep practicing.
Yeah.
So but people are like, the smartest people on the planet are telling me, and other people are telling me that I have to take time off. So do I go against my inners, or do I listen to I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I guess it's going to take some time to get used to get a feel, to trust yourself in your practice routines. If you have all this energy, why not practice and play?
Right?
If you need the rest, I think your body's going to talk to you, because there's
100%.
There's 2 ways you could burn out. Even at a very young age, I felt a burnout in my mind as well, not only physically. When you're preparing and putting a lot of pressure on, and you're going to events, and you're becoming really hard on yourself, or you could soak it all in, enjoy every shot,
That's it.
Walk and smell the flowers, right? As they say.
Yeah.
I mean, I played 18 holes this week with major champions and, tour winners. And and you know what? They're all great guys, and we're all trying to get the ball in the hole the least amount of strokes possible. And that fire to win is still in every one of them.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about it. played with DeMarco the third round. He shot 65 and it could have been 61.
Right.
It was really nice. And he went around, it was so easy. Mike went around, Weir went around 67. I mean, pretty easy. We just,
you were on track too. You were on track. You were 4 under. I mean, you were tracking.
Yeah, I was good. I had one shot. There was a kind of a par 5 little dogleg to the right where I was hitting hybrid all week off the tee. The wind, I'd say on a commitment level on a scale of 5, where every other shot was a 4 or 5. Maybe my commitment level was on a 3. The wind swirled a little bit. And I just pushed it a little bit, hit it really solid, and it went out of bounds. And I knew it as soon as I hit it. I said, I just do that. And then gave myself opportunities coming in from 13 and 12 feet and didn't make them. So, I mean, that's the way it goes.
Well, that's
you
right.
Get yourself upset.
You started on the back on that last round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
what you need is those opportunities because you get enough of them, those putts are going to drop, and it's onward and upwards. And the fact that you're 41th on the money list is a fantastic place to be. And golf's one of those games where we can always do better. Anyone who talks about their lowest career round is going to think, well, there's 2 more putts I could have made there. That could have been better, but it's the nature of the sport. So we just got to, keep at it and be patient. And you have a lot more birdies to come. And we're looking forward to seeing the next major.
Sweet. Next week, here we go, boys.
Yeah. Well, you've got a career low of 67 at Rapiscan, so that's really great on this tour.
Okay.
I think it's an actual stat, but that's pretty great. If you could string together 3 or 4 rounds in the 60s, you're right up there in the top 10. I'm looking at the scores and how things are progressing.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Don't you worry. It's coming. It's coming.
Well, it's so great.
It's all good. We're on the right track. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, absolutely not. We're excited too. I'm interrupting as well, because we want you to do so well. Are there any specific tournaments that you might just skip, or you're planning to go for sure that you have on your schedule, or you just want to fit in as many as possible?
Yeah, I've got to play in every one of them. That's the only way that I'm going to learn and be able to, to do what I'm doing and breaking through kind of like the first year.
Yeah.
So to speak, I just need to keep playing. I have the opportunity. The opportunity's there. I got to take it. I can't go away. It was nice, Stephen Alker, I think he won twice already this year. I mean, he took a week off. It must be nice to be able to take a week off.
Yeah.
And he earned it. Well deserved, but he's number 1 on the money list. So it's like he earned it. I've got to just keep grinding. I'm the last 3 weeks I've fallen. I was 33rd on the money list, and now I'm starting to fall based on my performances. But it's okay, because it doesn't mean that you're playing bad golf. It just means that you got to make more birdies and less mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at our Canadian Champions Tour stop, which is the Shaw Charity Classic in Canyon Meadows Golf and Country Club in Calgary, Alberta. That's about 3,000 kilometers from where I'm at, but my parents are out that way. Mike's out that way as well, but he's still about 700 miles from there.
About an 8-9 hour drive, depending on how white knuckled I want to hold the steering wheel.
Yeah, so we might be coming out to that, and I guess the week after that, or somewhere close to that, maybe 2 weeks afterwards, you have the Dick's Sporting Goods Open, which is more in your end of the woods at Endicott, New York. Lots of great tournaments. Like Mike mentioned, lots of golf left. You've still got a great season ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like 17 events or something like that. It's awesome. I'm going to go over for the British, try to qualify for the British Open over at Glen Eagles. Anything that I can try to get into the British and the US Senior Open were the only 2 that I wasn't in the senior players, which is a big deal. And so, just go in there and have a good finish, and it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm learning, playing 4 weeks in a row. Think about this, going from again, club pro, where you're limiting practicing a certain amount of time, per day. And all of a sudden now it's like the floodgates are open and you've got all this time. You've got to really figure out how much time and where it's going to be spent in each part of the game. I mean, it's amazing. And you got to learn the golf courses. There's just so many other little nuances that have to happen. And then you find your tendencies. Like I've I got on the road for a few weeks and I found I was starting to get a little faster with my tempo. So,
Yeah.
I really kind of slowed my backswing down, after watching some films and started hitting it really good again. So, it's finding all these tendencies there, and they're all new to me. So I'm in a fun time,
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Maybe to jump outside of the Champions Tour for a second, do you have any thoughts on some of the live golf and some of the controversies around our sport right now, which is kind of rare, where we don't often get the media attention like this. But do you have any thoughts on what's happening outside of the Champions Tour and Live and Greg Norman and whatnot?
Nope.
Good answer.
No, I'm in my own little bubble.
Yeah,
I got my own little bubble here, and
beautiful.
I can stay there. All good. I'm in right where I need to be.
Yeah, great. No, great. We could all probably learn from that.
It's pretty, like I said, it's always exciting to watch you. We're following you. If you're just joining us, we have Rob Labritz on. He's a Champions Tour rookie. He's doing really well on tour. Make sure you follow him on social media. And, Rob, we look forward to seeing you next week and the week after that. Anybody you want to have an honorable mention to while we're on the cast? We're now on 17 different platforms. So we've been really fortunate, growing exponentially week after week. We've been really thankful that our followers have gone from 5 to 10,000 across all platforms. Anybody you want to mention?
Awesome. Like just shout out. Well, we already mentioned all my sponsorship, which was very nice. But my beautiful wife, you guys, my beautiful wife, my kids. I can't wait to see them. My coaches, everybody knows, all the members at Glen Arbor, my owners at Glen Arbor. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
The Gregory family, everybody that's on this journey with me. My team back at Glen Arbor, the pro shop team, the outside team, all the chefs. Admin, Jess. It's like I couldn't do it without all these people. I mean, I could start naming them, but it would be foreverness. I guess all my friends back home in Pound Ridge, they're taking care of my wife and my kids when I'm not there, and we got a lot of support on every aspect. So all of them, especially Glen Arbor, and golly, just my team, the Gregory's, I could go on and on. All my sponsors, it's just been phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah. Just a lucky, blessed guy. All good.
Fantastic.
Hey, Mike, you want to wrap things up a little bit?
Sure.
Maybe you could mention some of our sponsors as well.
No, absolutely. Shout out to ECS Inc. That's my digital agency. Thanks to my team for all the support, and Upper Hand Collectibles and the Well Drink Company. We will post this show on our social channels today, and tomorrow it'll be up on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts, we'll be there. We're on actually over 20 platforms now, including our social media. So look for this episode there. And Rob, we're just thankful that you took a few minutes to update us on your progress this year, and we wish you the best. And we're going to be looking forward to your success and the win. It's going to happen. There's 17 events, so let's see it. We've called it, and we look forward to seeing it happen.
All right,
I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on, guys. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Keep growing. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Podcast to listen
Thank
to.
you.
Thanks so much,
Appreciate
Rob.
it.
And for Rob Labritz and Michael Bleackley, I'm Rafael Kalamat. Make sure you tune in to watch the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship at Harbor Shores Resort in Benton Harbor, as well as the Principal Charity Classic that's coming up in Des Moines, Iowa. Guys, have a great week. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.
And we're off. We stay on for a few more seconds because sometimes there's a lag, and we don't mind that our viewers see us logging off and talking a little bit just afterwards, because it gives them a feel of what the show, what it takes to make a show and how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's live,
Sounds good.
right? It's a live thing. So sometimes, stuff happens.